Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Weekly Movie News Podcast. This week's news brought to you by Selena and Timmy Get Animated. Yes, well, Illumination, the animation studio under the umbrella of Universal, they nabbed its leading stars for its upcoming animated blockbuster called Not Alone. So Selena Gomez and Timothee Chalamet will be starring in the film. Not Alone is a sci-fi film where Timmy will voice a rocket mechanic and Selena as an astrobotanist. It must have been in the works for a while because this film is already coming out next April, which is super fast for an animated project. Selena has another season of Murders in the Building coming out this year before that, and Timmy has the big Dune 3 release coming in December. Two studio stories here. First, Netflix, after its failed bid for Warner Brothers, might be making a play for something a bit smaller. It's reported that they are interested in acquiring Lionsgate and all that comes with it. Nothing is official yet. We'll wait to hear if a formal bid is made, but Lionsgate isn't exactly chump change. They do swing at times and have definite misses, but no doubt Netflix will be interested to bring in franchises such as Saw, Twilight, The Hunger Games, and of course, John Wick under their own banner. What that would mean for sequels and spin-offs, God only knows, but we'll have to see how it comes out in the wash. And then some eyebrow-raising news here. Google will be investing $75 million into A24 in a deal that is described as AI research collaboration for filmmaking and distribution. I'm not entirely sure what that actually means, but basically DeepMind from Google will be working with A24, who you would think would stay away from things like this, but anyway, A24 will now have access to their AI tools. To, help with things, I guess. I mean, if it's just a bunch of good data they get on how to release a film and where to release and when to release, that seems totally fine, but it also sounds like they can do whatever with the access. We don't really know A24's intent, so maybe it will start to show or come out. I guess the good news is Google isn't getting any special access or anything from A24, but people sound a little nervous about this, especially just because A24 is an auteur, indie film-driven studio. But of course, as I always say, we'll just have to wait and see. Now let's jump on to Mr. Jordan Peele. Peele and his Monkey Paw studio made hits like Get Out, Us, and Nope, but he has been pretty quiet lately, and almost too quiet. In fact, Peele was supposed to have a film come out at the end of 2024, but that never materialized. It was then pushed to 2025, but Peele couldn't get a story he was happy with, so then that fell through. There were even reports coming out recently that Universal was starting to get annoyed and frustrated with him at the lack of movement. But now it appears that Jordan Peele does in fact have a story figured out and in fact has landed on a script. So there's no other news than that. We may get some story ideas and some casts starting to form in a few months, but for now, I just wanted to update everyone that we have something brewing with Jordan Peele. Obsession writer and director Curry Barker is sticking with Universal for his next film. You can imagine how much Universal wanted to keep Barker after Obsession continues to perform very well. Again, nothing is known about the film, but it does sound like the story is set. It will be an original horror film where Curry is writing and directing. In Barker's words, quote, "This film is something I've been excited to make for a while, and I'm thrilled to be reteaming with Blumhouse, Atomic Monster, and Universal Film Group for it." End quote. So we are excited to see what Curry Barker has in store for us next. And then just some teases came out. So apparently Jim Carrey is returning to acting, and in fact it's going to be for another Grinch movie. And also on top of that, Ron Howard is set to come back to direct. Then Mike Myers, another guy we haven't seen a whole lot of lately, but of course he will be hitting it big with the new Shrek movie coming out. He also said that Austin Powers 4 is going to be made, and in fact he said that it would be very surprising if it didn't happen. So I'm actually a little bit excited for that. But with that, let's head on over to the box office for this past weekend. So the fifth best performing film at the movies was Scary Movie, and that made $6.7 million. We then have Backrooms making $7.3 million. Obsession takes the third slot with 14.2. Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day had a pretty big drop-off for its second weekend. That brought in just $17 million. And then the big boy of the week, without question, Toy Story 5 coming out strong with a franchise best opening weekend of $160 million. Worldwide, that's already sitting at $312. And coming up this Thursday, Vincent Daly will be watching, rating, and reviewing. It is another big one, folks, because you've got a friend in us. It's Toy Story, and it's all of the Toy Stories. 95's Toy Story by John Lasseter, 99's Toy Story 2 by John Lasseter, co-directed by Ash Brannon and Lee Unkrich, 2010's Toy Story 3 by Lee Unkrich, 2019's Toy Story 4 by Josh Cooley, and the newly released Toy Story 5, directed by Andrew Stanton and co-directed by McKenna Harris. But that's it for your weekly movie news here. We'll leave you today with a quote from a writer, comedian, and actor, Mike Myers. Canada is the essence of not being. Not English, not American. It is the mathematic of not being. And a subtle flavor. We are more like celery as a flavor. And all right, folks, the Daily Ratings weekly movie news podcast. That was it. See you on Thursday.